Deep powder overlay is a great alternative for anyone who wants to avoid using gel products. But if you will not do it right, it may look too thick and bulky. In this video, I will share some tips on how to achieve thin but durable overlay, and we will do a beautiful marble nail art using Azurebeauty Deep Powder Kit. Hello guys, I'm Anastasia, international nail expert and educator. And this is what the model's hand look like. She has some old gel overlay, so we need to remove it first with carbide bead and green abrasive mark. The speed is 28,000 rotations per minute. If there's some product leftovers and they're not lifting, it's okay to leave a little bit. And it's also important to prep the nails really well, so it doesn't really matter if you want to do gel overlay or deep powder overlay. Cuticle and nail plate prep is super important. So we are using flame-shaped diamond bead with red abrasive mark to push back the cuticles. If you don't know how to do dry manicure yet, it's okay, you can do regular manicure and prep the nail plate. Just make sure that it's dry and clean, because only under these conditions we're going to have an overlay that is going to last. After pushing up the cuticles, we are going to trim it using sphere diamond-shaped bead with red abrasive mark. This tutorial was recorded for you by Anna Fox. So once we're done with the manicure, make sure that the nail plate is clean as well as the cuticles, and it's time to apply the product. If you want to start with your deep overlay journey, I think the best solution is to start with a kit, because normally they include everything you need for this service. There are 20 different colors of deep powder and essentials, and I really like that they put numbers on them so you will know which one you need to use first. Base coat, activator, and top coat. This is how it's going to work. We need to apply base coat, and it's very important to apply it evenly. And then we dip it into the deep powder, and this is one of the ways to apply it. Then we need to get rid of the excess powder and apply the second coat in the same way. Base coat and dip it in the powder. If your base coat or top coat brush gets clogged and you notice that it's not working as it used to be, there's also a brush saver that you can use to clean the brush. Remove the cap and put the clogged brush into the brush saver. Let it sit there for a few seconds and then clean it with a lint free wipe. Now it's all fluffy and clean again, so we can proceed using this. After applying 2 coats, get rid of the excess powder, and this fluffy brush is also included, and apply activator. Wait for about 1 to 2 minutes, and then if needed you can buff and shape it. Finally, we seal it with a top coat. It is better to apply 2 coats if you want to make it super shiny. There's absolutely no lamp required, because all deep powder systems, they cure on air. Keep in mind that unlike gel colors, deep powder usually appear quite differently to what they look like in the jar. Let's say the previous color, it was much darker compared to what we saw in the powder, and this one, it looks like it's light pink with some glitter particles, but actually it's not. In a few moments you will see it. It's transparent base powder with some pink glitter, so make sure to check the colors before applying them on the nails. This is a different technique on applying deep powder. Instead of dipping it into the jar, we are going to sprinkle it on top, and this way it's more sanitary. Let's do some pretty nail art on the nails. First, we need to apply the hydrator, let it dry, and then we're going to use 5 different colors for this nail art and use this tray. Purple magenta color goes first, and then we take another shade of magenta and some brown color, as well as white and glitter. Gently mix them, but not too much, because we don't really want this color to turn into one. We want to make a marble look. Apply the base coat on the nail, but don't go all the way up to the cuticle yet. Dip it into the jar and then remove the excess powder. Oh no, sometimes it happens, but don't worry. Usually it means whether you applied too much base coat in this area or you tried to clean the excess powder too fast. Simply reapply this layer, and this is how you will fix it. Let's do another one, but this time we're going all the way up to the cuticle and close to the sidewalls, because with the second coat we want to cover the entire nail, and repeat the same. Get rid of the excess powder, and finally we are doing the design. Apply the base coat and try to make it as even as possible, and now we're going to use our tray and dip the nail into it. it, here goes the beautiful marble. Looks like a galaxy, and now we need to apply activator and wait for about 2 minutes and proceed with the next nail. Normally, when you're working on a client, we don't really do one nail from the beginning to the end. We do first coat on all nails, then the second coat, and so on. I strongly recommend you to try this technique. When applying the first coat, you don't go all the way up to the cuticle and not too close to the sidewalls, because in these areas we usually need less product and thinner application. If you will apply all coats all the way to the cuticle, the overlay may appear too bulky and too thick, and the shape of the natural nails is going to slightly change. And most importantly, when you apply it like this and we have less product in these areas, this kind of overlay is going to last longer. As we proceed with the marble nail art, eventually we're going to run out of some colors, and when you notice that some shade is missing, like the white one, it's definitely better to add them. By the way, this metallic pusher comes in a kit too. We did the design on the last nail and applied activator. Make sure that you cover all the nails and you do not miss any spots. And after 2 minutes, if needed, you can do slight filing and shaping. And we just want to make sure that all the shape and length is identical. And if you want to file the cuticle area or the sidewalls area, small needle shaped carbide bit with blue abrasive mark will work just perfect, because you can get super close to the cuticle without touching the skin. If you prefer using hand files, it is going to work too. Use at least 180 or 100 grit, but be very careful when you're getting close to the cuticles and to the sidewalls. You can also use a flame-shaped diamond bit if you notice that in some areas you went too far with the product and you have a little bit of flooding. You can also use carbide bit to get rid of the excess product underneath. Another common mistake is when you do not apply activator all the way, so the product was not fully cured and then it was overfiled. But we can always add it later, especially with this design. I think it looks even better. Now we have like a double layer 3D galaxy nail art. Finally, let's buff the cuticles with manicure powder and the special soft buffing bit, and now apply activator again because we added some product. Make sure that you don't have any dust or debris leftovers and seal it with a top coat. Oh no, looks like there's something wrong with the brush, and when it comes to top coats, sometimes brush saver may not be very helpful, but luckily they included 2 additional clean brushes in the kit, and you can use them whenever the first one is not working anymore. Even with air-cured products, make sure that you keep them away from any light or heat. Here comes the deep powder overlay with marble nail art, and I disagree that overlays should be thick and bulky. When it's thin and when it's done properly, it's going to look so pretty and it is going to last. You can find the link to this AzureBeauty Deep Powder Kit in my description box as usual. Let me know what kind of nail art do you normally do with deep powder, and do you do deep powder overlays at all, or you prefer gel manicure? Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.